All right, I have fallen under 500 with my spread picks this year. So, we're in need of a good week here at Locked On College Football. I do not have Oklahoma and Auburn as one of my best bets. A lot of people do. But with the way Auburn can run the ball and the way that the Oklahoma Sooners have been good, not dominant, but good this year, I've liked what I've seen. They're just what I expect. 6.5 is a lot for an emotionally charged game because the crowd's going to be on fire and everyone's going to be thinking about it. And Jackson Arnold might have that next gear because he's playing in Norman. So that's not one of my best spread bets, but I do like Oklahoma to win that football game. I'm starting with Arizona State over in the Big 12. They go on the road this week. Mentioned it on yesterday's show, and this is a huge game for Arizona State and Baylor, both of them, because you've got your first league game. It's a tough start for ASU that has a very difficult beginning to their conference slate this year. But if you lose this game, you're probably out of the Big 12 championship game. You might even be out of the college football playoff. Baylor certainly would be out of the college football playoff because expecting a team to win out the rest of the year, I'm sorry, in the Big 12, I just don't see it. I don't. Now, these are two very similar teams. They have coaches that I like. I like Dillingham more than Dave Aranda, but I'm not that down on Dave Aranda. Some people might be. Okay, I'll get to what people are down on with him in just a moment and why I'm picking Arizona State. But they have veteran quarterbacks, and neither one has gotten off to an ideal start this season. ASU with the loss at Mississippi State late in the game on the road, and Baylor, of course, losing at home week 1 to Auburn, where they just flat out were outplayed. So I can't get behind Baylor's defense in this spot. Arizona State's a 2.5-point underdog. So yeah, of course, that's going to be one of my best bets of the week because I like Arizona State to win the game outright. Give me Arizona State's defense being just a little bit better. I know they had the stumble against Mississippi State. I think they're going to be better because of that. I'll take ASU to win. And since they're getting 2.5, of course, they cover. I think this is a pretty high-scoring game. I'll go 35-31, and ASU's defense makes the one stop or the one play, and Baylor's once again looking around going, why can we not utilize Sawyer Robertson? That's a question we'll ask and answer at a later date. Another one. I like a lot of underdogs this week, but I do have a couple of favorites. I've got my 5 regular picks in the Oregon game, of course, as well. But I want to go to Kansas next, sticking in the Big 12. You ever hear the term emotional letdown spot? Because you probably have if you follow betting lines at all. These are all provided by our friends at FanDuel, of course. Kansas is minus 12.5 at home against West Virginia, who just won their Super Bowl this year. Big win for West Virginia. Talked about it on the show earlier this week. A landmark moment early in Rich Rod's return to Morgantown. When you do that and then you have to go on the road and face a Kansas team who I think is quite good, and Jalen Daniels is playing good ball, yeah, I like Kansas big in this spot. Give me the Jayhawks 35-17. They take care of West Virginia. Remember, this is a Mountaineers team that lost to Ohio the week before they played Pitt. That was a rivalry game. They played their best possible ball. Now they've got to go on the road. I like Kansas big in that spot. Next one. You know what? I'll go to the other favorite that I have on the board, and then I'll give you 3 straight underdogs. I've got Oregon as my bonus pick, as always, this week. And last week, the Ducks did not cover on the road in a rivalry spot. I don't think they're going to have the sluggish start, the letdown sort of vibes they had at the end of the game when the reserves got in. I don't think they're going to mess around with that. This is a game last year against Oregon State in Corvallis against, I don't know, about the same, maybe slightly worse Oregon State team, maybe better. We don't fully know. It's been bad. The vibes in Corvallis are really, really bad. Oregon won this game last year while not playing a great first half, 49-14. Oregon State is going to try to do what Northwestern did in the first half and run the ball, kill the clock, not give Oregon too many possessions. I don't think they have the horses to do it. I really don't. It is a big, giant number. I think Oregon is going to steamroll at home in this spot in their final tune-up before Penn State. I've got them winning 48-10. I don't think it's the easiest cover in the world. I think they will do it. It's 35.5. It's a big number. I have not had success recently picking big numbers, but I'm going back to the well anyway. Oregon, 48-10 in this spot. 3 more underdogs. Yeah, that's right. Lots of underdogs this week. Speaking of teams that I think are going to win that are dogs, give me Illinois. This is up to 6.5. And you know what? I already know what I will say if Illinois wins or if Indiana wins and covers that number. But I think Illinois is winning the game. I've said it all off season. I'm sticking to my guns here. I like Illinois. I think that they have enough to go on the road to Bloomington against an Indiana team that has not been tested yet. And look, Illinois has at least played a Power 4 team. Indiana has not. I like Luke Altmaier. I like that run game. I think that they do just enough. So, yeah, with 6.5 points, it feels like a trap. It really, really does. I'm going with Illinois in that spot. I think they win the game outright as a 6.5-point dog. I feel the same way about Nebraska. Nebraska, 2.5-point dog. They are at home. So Nebraska plus 2.5. Yep, definitely like that as one of my best bets this week because I think Nebraska's winning the game outright. Now, Michigan loves to run the ball. We all know that. Justice Haynes, 3 straight 100-yard games has been really good. The Nebraska run defense has to improve. I still just don't think the Michigan offense is quite ready. I think it's going to be. I think it can get there, but on the road, Nebraska is looking for that landmark victory moment like Rich Rod with West Virginia last week. Nebraska at home plus 2.5. I will take them to win that game outright, as I stated earlier in the week here on the show. And finally, here's one that is going to surprise a lot of you. Because frankly, I mean, I have been dogging on this team all offseason. I have been down on them. The one time I've put them in my best bets, I've been correct. Well, now they're playing a team that is actually worthwhile to look at rather than a couple of jokes. North Carolina getting 7.5 against UCF on the road. Too many points. Too many points. I wouldn't be surprised if North Carolina wins this game outright because I'm down on the Tar Heels. Have been since Bill Belichick got hired. And I haven't changed my tune on that even though they beat a couple of inferior opponents. I think that UCF is one of the worst teams in the Power 4. Now, that's just for this year. Vegas obviously disagrees. I just think that that's too many points. At home, you know what? Vegas clearly knows something. So I'll take UCF to win the football game. But I think North Carolina covers. I think the Knights win a low-scoring slugfest, 21-17, kind of in that sort of range. I was shocked to see this line as high as it is. I really... This one in Illinois, I wonder if Vegas knows something that we don't, that I don't specifically, but I think a lot of people would be surprised at that line. So, Illinois plus 6.5 at Indiana, Nebraska plus 2.5 against Michigan, North Carolina plus 7.5 at UCF, Oregon minus 35.5 against Oregon State, Arizona State plus 2.5 at Baylor, Kansas minus 12.5 against West Virginia. The week of the underdogs. Those are my best bets for the week. Let's hope I get myself at least back to 500. That's the goal. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time. And until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.